Attention passionate Dallas, Cowboys. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Dallas, Cowboys. Let's get to the news, so, folks, buckle up because this is one of those potential game-changing moves that could reshape the NFC East landscape. Rumor has it that the Dallas Cowboys are in serious talks with the Washington Commanders to acquire Daron Payne, one of the most disruptive interior defensive linemen in the league right now. And if this deal goes through, it could be a major boost for the Cowboys' defense, especially in their quest to dominate the trenches and make a real push for Super Bowl LXI. Now, if you've been watching the Cowboys this season, you know how vital it is to reinforce that middle of the defensive line. Our run defense, which has been solid but not elite, could become a fortress with Payne anchoring the interior. The Cowboys, with roughly $23 million in cap space, are positioning themselves to make a splash, and acquiring Payne, who's just 28, fits perfectly into that plan. He's a guy who can be a game wrecker, a real inside disruptor, and boost our pass rush and run defense simultaneously. Think of the impact he could have alongside guys like Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, creating a front seven that's almost impossible for opposing offenses to handle. Let's talk numbers and what Payne brings to the table. He's registered 15 solo tackles and 2 sacks this season, showing he's active and disruptive even in a somewhat limited role. His overall PFF grade of 66, 1 and a pass rush grade of 68. 2 are solid, especially considering he's often double-teamed, which opens opportunities for teammates. His run defense grade of 52. 7 might not jump off the page, but that's partly because he's asked to do a lot of things that don't always show up on the stat sheet. His career stats include over 30 sacks and more than 50 tackles for loss since 2018, and he was a Pro Bowler in 2022 when he posted 5 sacks. That's the kind of production the Cowboys desperately need on the interior, especially now that we've seen how crucial run stopping and interior pressure are in today's NFL. And it's not just about what he can do on the field. The Cowboys are also looking at this move from a cap perspective. The deal would send a third-round pick in the 2026 draft and a conditional fourth-rounder back to Washington, freeing up around $18 million in cap space. That's huge because it allows us to be more flexible, whether it's adding depth at linebacker, strengthening the offensive line, or even making a late-season push for a veteran wide receiver or cornerback if the opportunity arises. The cap space is a valuable commodity, and clearly, Dallas is making a calculated move to maximize their roster's potential. Now, why would the Commanders be willing to part with Payne? Well, the team is in a bit of a rebuild mode, especially on defense. Their record, sitting at 4-9 and recent struggles, especially after losing Daniels, who threw 14 touchdowns but also threw 16 interceptions, have the Commanders looking to clear cap space for the future. They're also focusing on a rebuild of their defensive line, which has been inconsistent, allowing over 140 rushing yards per game. That's a glaring weakness when you consider how the league is trending toward more balanced, run-heavy offenses. Losing Payne, a key piece of their interior, might hurt their front, but they're betting on the draft and other free agents to rebuild that unit. For the Cowboys, this move isn't just about adding a talented player. It's about establishing a dominant interior defense that can set the tone for the entire team. With Payne, we'd see a frontline that's not only capable of stopping the run, but also generating pressure on quarterbacks, especially in critical moments. His presence would draw double teams away from Micah Parsons, freeing him up to rush the passer more often, which could lead to a spike in sacks and pressures. That's exactly what we need to elevate our defense to elite status, especially as we head into the playoff stretch. Looking at the bigger picture, this change could transform Dallas's defensive identity, turning it into a lone star line that terrorizes opponents. Imagine Payne lining up next to Williams, who's been a beast with 8 sacks in 2025 and an impressive PFF grade of 89. 2. Together, they could form a formidable duo that dominates the interior, much like the dominant defensive lines we've seen in recent Super Bowl-winning teams. This move could also help us in the goal of reducing opponent rushing yards from around 125 yards per game to something closer to 90, which would be a game changer in terms of defensive efficiency. And this isn't just about stopping the run. Payne's ability to generate interior pressures, with projections suggesting a jump of around 50 additional pressures and an increase in tackles for loss from 70 to nearly 90, could elevate our entire defense. Historically, players like Wilkins with the Raiders in 2025 showed how interior disruption can improve team efficiency by over 12%. The Cowboys could see similar gains, especially with the added boost from our pass rushers and secondary. Speaking of secondary, with Trevon Diggs on injured reserve, the defense has had to adapt and support the run more than usual. Adding Payne would help offset some of those losses by making our front seven more formidable, allowing our linebackers and safeties to play more aggressively and take more chances on coverage and blitzes. The potential for increased sacks, possibly adding around 10 more sacks to our total, would be a huge lift as we chase that elusive Super Bowl title. Now, let's look at the playoff implications. The odds of winning the Super Bowl have already shifted favorably for Dallas, jumping from +1,800 to +950 on FanDuel as of December 2025. That's a significant move, showing the betting markets believe in our potential more than ever. Payne's presence in the playoff games, especially with 3 career playoff sacks, could be the difference-maker in high-stakes matchups. His ability to penetrate against teams like the 49ers' Christian McCaffrey, who's been racking up yards this season, could be crucial in those tight moments. If Payne can disrupt the interior and collapse the pocket, it could turn the tide in our favor, increasing our chances of making a deep playoff run and ultimately bringing home that 6th Lombardi trophy. All in all, this move is about building a wall that's nearly impenetrable, a defense that can adapt to the modern NFL's demands and give the Cowboys that extra edge we've been chasing for so long. It's a strategic, bold step that signals the Cowboys are serious about competing at the highest level, not just for this season, but for years to come. We've seen what a dominant defensive line can do. Think about the 2020 Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the 2022 Rams. And Dallas is aiming to replicate or even surpass that level of dominance, with Payne anchoring the middle. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in football, and there are always risks involved with any trade, but the potential upside here is enormous. Payne's addition could elevate our defense to a top 5 unit, making us not just contenders but serious Super Bowl favorites. With the right pieces around him, and if we stay healthy, this Dallas Cowboys team could be on the verge of something truly special. The NFC East is already competitive, but with Payne in the mix, the Cowboys could solidify their position as the division's top dog and go on a historic playoff run. The stage is set, and all eyes are on how Jerry Jones and the front office execute this deal. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you believe acquiring Darren Payne is the missing piece that can push us over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion means so much to us, and it's vital as we gear up for what looks like an exciting playoff push. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates and analysis, so stay tuned for all the latest Dallas Cowboys news. We're in this together, and with moves like this, the future looks brighter than ever. Let's keep the faith, stay loud, and keep cheering for our team. Because when the Cowboys are firing on all cylinders, there's nothing we can't do. Let's go, boys.